Okay, so this might not seem like a usual video from my channel, but just deal with it, whatever. Basically, I was doing some rim swaps in Assetto Corsa, and I wanted to try to use it with 3DsimED, and I couldn't. Something went wrong, and I didn't want to do it, so I looked for other ways of swapping rims onto cars, and I found a way actually on the CSP wiki. Some people in Discord thankfully sent the link to me, and I found it, and I went through and I thought, wow, this is pretty easy actually. I don't have to use 3D Sim basically ever again. And so without them, without sending me that link, I would have never known how to do this, because believe it or not, there's no tutorials online showing you how to do this. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a tutorial and show you guys how to do rim swaps using CSP. You must have CSP if you're going to do this, otherwise it will not work. But basically, yeah, let's just get into this. So first things first, you're going to have to find a car that you want, preferably one that's not encrypted, because some cars that are encrypted you can't change the data of, so you're not going to be able to stance them. And some cars you actually can get the names of meshes in Content Manager showroom, but I've not tried it with encrypted models, so it might work with some of them, but a lot of them definitely will not. So find one that's not encrypted, so nothing like the SRP car pack or M Motors or any of those kind of cars. There's a lot of them, like the WTT cars, or I think they're encrypted. So find one that's not encrypted. For example, I have this Mercedes here I found that I think is gonna look nice. It does not matter which car you choose, just as long as it's not encrypted. If there is an issue with your car, you might have to choose another one depending on the issue. Otherwise, you're gonna get into like actual modding and stuff, which is not what you came here to do. Full disclosure, by the way, this is not for like beginners to like Assetto Corsa. This is for people who have like a general understanding of how Assetto Corsa works and how to access the files and everything. If you need help with that, you go find another video, because this is for more advanced videos users. So basically, what I'm gonna do here is you're gonna open the folder first of the car you want and open it in Content Manager Showroom, because in Content Manager Showroom you can click on things and see the mesh name, and this is important. So basically you're gonna need this here. You're going to need, in the CSP wiki, there is model replacements, and under model replacement there is rim swap right here, and this is what you're gonna need. You're gonna need this right here. So copy that, copy this, and you're gonna open the car folder, and you're gonna make a new folder, and you're gonna call it extension. And inside that, you're gonna make a new text document, and you're gonna name it ext config dot and it's going to be like, are you sure you want to do this? It might become unusable, but you're just going to say yes. You're going to open that, and you're going to paste this in. This is for more advanced stuff. I'll get into this later, but we don't need that right now. We're going to delete that. So this is all you need right here, and it tells you what each thing does. And if you read the wiki, it also says what each thing does. But basically, first things first, what we're going to do is the original file here, first line file, that is the name of the car's KN5. It's not the name of the folder. You might be tempted to put in Mercedes underscore 560 SEC underscore AMG, but that's not the name of it. If you want the car KN5, which is right here, it's in the folder you want. So that, in this case, is 560 SEC underscore AMG.KN5. So you're going to put that here. So 560 cc_ang. And make sure to save, by the way. It's just Control S. It's no problem. And then the original rims. This is where you're gonna put in the meshes. This is where it's important to open the content manager showroom and click on the object. So this here is basically the name of the meshes that you're hiding. So obviously, before you rim swap, you have to hide the original rims, to get rid of them. So basically, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go one by one. It's not all the same name. You have to list them. You have to list all of the names of each individual mesh that you want to replace. Just separate them by commas in this line right here. So first things first, you click on it, click on the object or rim or something that we want to replace, and then we see the name in the top right here. You see the name of the mesh. So we're just going to copy that, and we're just going to paste it in here. I'm going to move this here to make it easier to see. So we did that. Now we need the inner piece. So we're going to copy that. And we are going to put that there. Sometimes it is easier if you see like left, right. Left rear or something. Just paste it a couple times, and then you can do, that'll be front right, that'll be rear right, and that'll be left front. And then that's easy because it's just going to be the same. So CS left front, right front. Yeah, some of those, but some of them have numbers. For example, this here has numbers. So we're going to have to find the actual one for each rim. Always check to make sure that the inner hub or whatever this is called is also hiding, because a lot of cars have that separately as a separate object. So make sure you hide that too. Same with like these little nuts here. But thankfully this is only a 2-piece design, so we're good. So then we move on to the next rim. Man, these are some low poly rims. Jeez. 1,000 triangles. Whew. Wow. Whatever. We're gonna put a lot better wheels on there. So we're gonna take this one. We already have that. So we're gonna take this. Okay. So 02. And then see if it's 003, 002. I know there's gonna be an 001. And I also know there's just gonna be that. Now, I know that from experience, but if this is your first time doing this, you should check to make sure each rim is replaced. So now, if I go into a game here, so we're going to die cuckoo, that's fine. If I go into a game here, you can ignore this for now. It doesn't do anything if you don't have anything enabled. So basically, if I go into a game now, so basically, excuse the lack of FPS here. As you can see here, it is hidden. All of the rims are hidden. This is what it should look like if you've done everything wrong. The only problem here is that obviously the inner front right rim is wrong. And if I look, let's look at what happened here. As you can see here, I made a typo. So right front. The only way, another thing with the doing it this way, the rim swap this way, compared to using 3DsimED, whatever, is that it does not work in Content Manager Showroom or Showroom. The only way it works is in-game because of it's using CSP to draw the rims and all that stuff and replace the rims. So you will not see any changes here, and you have to launch the game every time that you make a change. It will not update real time. That's one of the downsides of doing it this way. So the previews won't update unless you like go in and take photos and do it all manually yourself. But yeah, basically you have to go into game every time you want to see a change. But on to the next step, we have all of our meshes here that we want to hide. So what's next is adding the rim. So I have a folder full of rims, and I'm gonna see what I think will look good. And maybe those might look good. So, I'm not gonna use those right now because I'm gonna have to do a more advanced technique to show you. I'll do that after. So I'm gonna actually copy this and put that in there. So I'm gonna do something easy right now, like just rim swapping these. No, not that. Yeah, these NK rims. So I'm gonna copy these, and what you're gonna do here, once you have the rim, you need to get it in KN5 form. You need to have the rim in KN5 form. FVX will not work. You need KN5. So the easiest way to do this, I'm just gonna give an example. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna use this car. I'll just take the rims off this car, and I'll show you. So first things first, you are gonna need 3DsimED 3 for this. Unfortunately, I know it sucks. Whatever. So what you have to do is, where's the folder? What's the name of the folder? Okay, so you find the KN5 of the car. Once you have 3DSim, there are ways to get the trial infinitely, but I'm not gonna say them on my channel. Basically, you go find it. Once you do that, click import. Then go to your Assetto Corsa directory, content cars, and find the car that you want to take the rims from. In this case, I'm going to take them straight from the Mercedes. So I found it here. Then what you're going to do is double click on this, the KN5 of the car, and it's going to open. Here we go. So we see here, you see the car, and what you're going to do is you're going to right click on the rim. You're going to go to object, wheel left front, and you're going to click this little button here, isolate object. That's going to get your left front wheel. And it doesn't matter which wheel you choose. A lot of the time it'll just be the same because the caliper orientation, the caliper won't come with the wheel. And it'll all be symmetrical. So what you're going to do, see, here's the thing. This is also, 3DSim is also a good thing to have with some cars. 'Cause some cars, like Kuno's cars, for example, they have rim blur. And if you have rim blur, it won't be hidden unless you specify that it needs to be hidden. So on some cars, it will show up. So even if I switch the rims, the original rim blur will show up and it'll just like pop in and it won't look okay. It won't look right. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to write down, usually it has the same name, like what was it there? Rim underscore blur underscore left front. Usually it has like the same name like that. Sometimes it's different. Underscore left front. And then I'm going to just copy and paste this 3 more times. Right front, right rear, left rear. Okay. So that's important to hide those. But what we're going to do here is when you get your rim blur, you don't want that on the rim that you're ripping. You don't want that. So we're going to delete that by selecting it, doing the same way that you selected the left front rim. You're going to click this little X button, deletes it. It's gone. And now what we're gonna do here is we're gonna save it. So we're gonna do file, plug in export, and then we're gonna save it wherever you want to do. So I don't know what to call these. I'll just name this donk. And I'm gonna say underscore tire because we're gonna make 2 copies. This is important. We're gonna make 2 copies, one with the tire and the rotor, and one with just the rim. And this is important because some cars, let me just take like this GT3 car or whatever and choose whatever. Fine, just the GT3 car or this, yeah. Anyways, have a shallow rim and the caliper and rotor is up close, right behind the rim. So what that looks like is like this. And obviously you cannot fit a massive deep dish rim in there. So if you need to say want to fit a really deep dish rim and you have to hide the rotor and the tire as well, which is why we make a tire copy. So I'm going to make a tire copy, and then I'm going to select the rotor, Sometimes you have to right click around until you actually get it selected. And then I'm going to select the entire and delete that. And now we have just the rim, and we can do file, plug and export. Sorry, I didn't mention this before. You got to select KN5 in this drop-in menu. That's also important. And not the LOD files, just the regular files. And we're going to save that. And we're going to name that Donk, I think it was called. And then we'll save that. Another thing also to keep track of is go to your folder of the car that you're ripping the rims from. So here's the tire here. And we're going to go to skins, and we're going to go to skins. Sometimes, cars have skins for the rims. And so if you want to do a rim swap with another rim, it won't look right, or it won't look the same as the car that you ripped it from, because you're missing that skin. So what you're going to do is sometimes, I have folders here. I have folders with some skins, and what you're going to do is you're going to like make a folder somewhere you can access it, and you're going to put the skins there so you can actually do it. So if I want to say rim swap the cars, like the rims that have the skins on it, it's the same way. You just paste the skin files into the skin folder that you want to have the rim skinned on. I said skin a lot of times there, but basically you just want to paste the rim skins from the car that you ripped the skins from into the car that you want to put the skins on, or the rims on. And it works, no problems, flawlessly. Because it is just the same way. It doesn't matter. Anyways, so that's also an important thing to keep track of when you're ripping the rims. But other than that, if I just go to the rims I ripped here, these are perfect. These are exactly what I took from the car. So that's how you rip the rims. Now, to put the rims on, what you're gonna do, sorry, I went off on a whole tangent there. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take the rims that you want. So I want these NK rims. I want to put these NK rims on the Mercedes. You're gonna take those rims that you took, and then you're gonna put them next to the ext config in the extension folder. This is also important. It needs to be a KN5. It needs to be in the extension folder. That's where it has to be. You can have however many rims you want in here, by the way. But now what you're going to do here, next step, is go on to the next line. So model. And you're going to put the name of the rim KN5. So in this case, it's NK. And you're going to put that there. You're going to save it. We'll get to these numbers later. We'll also get to these numbers later. But for right now, that's it. We're done. So we're going to open the game. We're going to load into the game. Okay. So what I've just discovered there is that the rim blur in this case has multiple pieces. If it gives you cannot locate object, sometimes what that means is it's going to... What you did is you specified a dummy. So another way of replicating this would be to put just wheel or left front. That's not actually an object. That's it's like a dummy. It's a parent object. So basically, let me try and see if this works again, because I had this problem before. Okay, yeah. Okay, same problem. So what you need to do here is we need to actually, you do need 3DSim for this. I know, again, it sucks, boo, whatever. You're gonna have to find the object name in here. So what I did there is I went to the wheel, I selected the rim blur, and then I isolated that. So what I have here is the rim blur isolated, and now you can see it's actually two pieces. There's the outside and the inside. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna copy this, and we are gonna have to do this for each rim, unfortunately. So we're gonna do that, paste that, select this one, copy this, oops, paste that. Then we're gonna have to go select rear right, isolate, rim blur, isolate, Okay, it's going to be the same thing, so I can actually copy. I'm going to copy this. It's the same thing that I mentioned here with the 001, 002, 003. So on the first one, there's not going to be any numbers. And then on the second one, there's going to be 001. And then on the third one, there's going to be 002. And then on the fourth one, there's going to be 003. Oops, not 330, 003. Okay. And it's going to be the same for this one, so I can copy and paste that 3 times. So 001, 002, 003. Okay. This is getting a little bit cramped here. Okay. And sometimes that's the stuff you're going to run into. So we're going to save that, try again, see if it works this time. And there we go. It works. So that's what you're going to have to do sometimes. You're going to run into a lot of these kind of issues, little small problems. Because every car is not made the same. So what I've seen here is... Okay, so what I've done here is I've accidentally opened this twice and did not save the version where I put the NK here. So we're gonna save that and try again. So that's what might happen again if you don't have the name of the rim correct. That's what might happen. You might not see the rims show up, but there we are. Load in again. Watch the car fall. I'm pressing F7 by the way to get into free cam in the session menu. So now you can see our rims are in game. They're showing up, no problems. Reflections are working correctly as they should. I mean, they do look jank sometimes with the really big chrome rims. That's the problem I don't know how to solve. So one of the things you can see here is that the rim, it's not fitting correctly. And it's not fitting correctly here either. Oops. Fitting correctly here. So that's what we use these numbers here for. So this first number is the radius. Now, the thing is with this is that it's backwards. What that means is you're basically specifying the radius of the rim that you're putting in. So if you lower it, if you lower the number, say if I were to make this 0.26, it would actually make the rim bigger. So I'm gonna do 0.25 here to make it bigger. It doesn't make any sense, I know. And then I'm gonna look at the width here. You say, yeah, the width's about good. The width is about right. So I don't need to change this value here, which is the width. This works regularly. I think it works regularly. I don't know. You need to try it. Anyways, and so what I'm gonna do to change the little offset here, see how this is not fitting here. What I'm gonna do there is I'm going to change the offset. This is front, this is rear. So for the front, let's see, what does it look like? The front fits pretty well. It could be a little farther out, but all in all, not too bad. I'm going to make this, actually, I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So it's gonna be a little bigger. And then I'm gonna change the offset to 0.01. So positive is going out this way. So going from this way to here to here. Negative is from here to here. So, and it works on both sides. Also, another thing with the rim swap, I'll get into it later when I get into advanced techniques, actually. So, whatever, never mind. I'm gonna change that. This offset is no good. I'm gonna make that a 0.05. and that'll be the rear. And now I save and then relaunch because it does not update automatically. Okay, so let's look how that did. All right, so you can see here there's a little gap. So I'm gonna make that offset a little less. I'm gonna make that 0.005, and that'll be good. This, I made the offset too much, so I'm gonna reduce that. Again, maybe 0.015. But the radius seems a little big, maybe. Actually, no, just about right. Yeah, radius is just about right. These are going to be super low profile tires, so you can see here the hub is actually working. The rotor is still there because we didn't remove the rotor because we don't have a rotor on these rims. But yeah, let's relaunch the game, save, relaunch the game, and then let's see what it looks like again. Okay, so the offset is still a bit too high, so I'm gonna reduce that even more. I'm gonna make this 0.005, same as the front. The front rim is looking pretty good, pretty good. We are seeing some issues here. There is no fender liner, apparently. God knows why. That's just the car. There is a rear fender liner, though, which is good, I guess. So, basically, that's what you just have to keep doing. Launching the game, you know, fixing little values, switching it up a little, then closing it, then relaunching it, and that's what you're basically going to be doing, which is why this takes so long. If you could update it in-game, stancing a car and changing its rims would be done in like less than 30 minutes. So now we see here the offset, pretty good. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're good on the rear. As you can see here, it even fits. It should fit. Yep, fits in the rear too. You can change that with the width to make this fit. If you have like a drift car and you're gonna have lots of angle in the front and you don't want to see like a massive rim sticking out in the front, that's what you're gonna do. But so far from what I see, everything fits basically perfectly. I'm actually all right. We're good. That's good. I mean, it looks kind of stupid because the original tires are so low profile, but that's what it's gonna look like. You can see now the offset is perfect. We have that little bit of a lip jutting out, which is what I want. And again, with a little bit of lip, and everything is working. Looks good. So basically, now you should be done, hopefully. I'm gonna make a video detailing the different problems you might run into. So I'm gonna make that's also gonna include problems stancing cars, and then that'll come out 2 days from now, hopefully, after the stancing cars part. So sorry if you didn't get it working. Just make a comment and I'll try and help you. But I'll make a video addressing all the different problems. Not all of them, but most of the ones that I've run into in a future video. But right now, I'm gonna move on to advanced techniques. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. So for example, if you have different LODs of cars, so a lot of Kuno's cars have 4 LODs. So there's the original, and then there's 3 other ones just for performance, like optimizing performance. So it's not just the entire car and all its detail when it's like 700 meters away and you can barely see it. You can basically just copy and paste this, and then just put change the name of the carcane52 like underscore lod underscore a or whatever it might be, and do that over and over again. That's what you're gonna do. Or you could, for example, I'm gonna get into one more advanced techniques. So what I'm gonna do here is there's something you can do with the replace rims. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna copy this and then I'm gonna paste this below, and I'm gonna do rear only equals 1, and then in this one I'm gonna do front only equals 1. Now this, as you can see, it replaces only the front rims or only the rear rims. You can't do it per individual like corners, unfortunately, but you can do front and rear separately, which is important if your like rear wheels are way wider than your front wheels, say in like drag cars or something. That's important. So what I'm going to do here is in the rear rims, I'm going to change this to the tire here. I'm going to go over replacing tires and rotors. Because sometimes, I don't know, you want that fitment, or like it's too deep to fit with the rotor. Like, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to replace the entire tire and rotor. So obviously I'm going to have to go back in Content Manager Showroom, and I'm going to have to select the tire. So I'm only doing the rear rims this time. So I only have to replace this here and this tire here. We're going to copy and paste those. And then the rotors. So I'm going to select that. And then I'm going to select the other rotor. And I'm going to put that in here. Okay, so now that's for the rear only. And that should replace the rotors on only the rear only, because that's where we have it. And now we're going to change the model for the rear. So we want the 4RX. And then it's going to look a bit wacky because it's not going to be the right size, which is why we're going to have to do it. But this will also go over what happens if you have to replace a tire. And man, I hate it when my car falls like that. All right. So, as you can see here, we have a bit of a problem. Our hub is sticking through our rim, and same with our caliper. Now, what we are gonna do may surprise you. What we're gonna do here also, first things first, the tires are actually like working, fitting on the ground, which is good. You don't want them to be like levitating just on the corner. That kind of sucks. And there's also ways of making them, you want them kind of to clip in the ground a little bit. It's always better that way. But that's good. So we don't need to change our size. I'm actually gonna reduce the size a little bit here. So I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna make this like 245. And then I'm also going to, we'll come to the fitment. Right now, we don't care about the fitment. All we want to do is fix the hub and the caliper clipping through. So what we are going to do is we're actually going to change the offset to make the rotor here actually line up with the caliper. That's why it's important to have the rotor, because that's what we need to do. We need to make the rear offset like 0.1. No, like 0.3. Yeah. And we'll relaunch the game. It'll look a bit wacky, and it won't. It's only a visual change. This is not actually moving the tires on the car. So you're not actually moving the tires on the car, which is why we're going to have to change some things to make it work and look correctly. So it's going to be sticking out a bit here, as you can see, but we're going to need, yeah, we're going to need to change this a lot more. So I'm going to make this 0.07. So we need this rotor here to line up with this caliper here. And if it's still, once that's lined up, if this hub is still here, we will hide that hub because we have our own hub with the rotor on our replacement rim. All right, that's more like it. So our rotor still not lined up with our caliper, and our hub is still sticking through there, so I'm gonna make 0.1. Now this is a lot of offset because we have a very deep rim. You won't really have to do this with a lot of rims that you're gonna be replacing. But if you have some really deep rims like the one that I have here, you're gonna have to go massive offset. Okay, so close. We're close. I mean, it doesn't look too bad. I mean, that's what we need to avoid, is just that right there, where you can see in the, where's there, gonna make 0.15. This is a lot of offset, granted. All right, this is a lot. We got that size just about right. That rim, that's of the original rim, I think. Yeah, that's part of the original. Okay, hold on. So what you see there is part of the original rim, the inner rim. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna hide that. I'm gonna select that. Let's see here. No. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna select this. I'm gonna hide that. Okay. Is it the same? Oh no, the 02 and 03. Okay, well I can just copy paste this. Okay. So now that we had the inner rim, that should be fixed. Let's try one more time, and then I'll get to actually fixing the fitment. Okay, so yeah, this looks really silly, but I think, yep, that's working. Look, see, the caliper is lined up with our rotor. I don't know what these little objects clipping through are. Oh, it's just spacers, okay, or whatever those are called. So now we have that lined up with our caliper. I don't know how this will work, because right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the track. We're gonna move this entire thing back, the caliper and the suspension and the rim. Yeah, we only have this much space to play with. I don't know. It's about the same. I don't want the see, what I don't want is I don't want the tire to clip through. If it does start clipping through, we're gonna have to reduce the width a lot, and I didn't hide that inner rim piece, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. It's not part of the original rim. Oh well. It's not part of the NK. No. Okay. Well, anyways, what you're gonna need to do is some fancy stuff. So what you're gonna do here, if your car already has the data unpacked, it's gonna just have that button grayed out. But if your car doesn't have its data unpacked, what you're gonna do is you're gonna click unpack data. What that's gonna do is it's gonna open this folder called data here. And you want to go into suspensions.ini. Now there's a lot of stuff in here, and I'll get more into detail about this in my next video about stancing the cars. But for right now, we're only going to focus on the wheel and suspension offsets. I believe. Because right now, graphically, our tire is like way the hell out of here. But what the game thinks is just normal, like what it looks like here. That's where the game thinks the tire is, but where our tire actually is like way out here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have to change these values, and plus is right, left is negative, I believe. So for our suspension and our wheel, we're gonna have to move that. So I'm gonna make this like 0.2 or 0.1. I think 0.2 should be good. 0.24. And then this is gonna be positive. I'm gonna move this in, so this is gonna be 2. This is also gonna be 2. And then let's see what it looks like. Now, you can also do this with Assetto Corsa Cartooner if you know how to use that, but sometimes it causes issues with like replacing data in the original car, making it like you can't use it online, which sometimes is an issue. So if you do use Assetto Corsa Cartooner, make sure to make a backup of it if it's a car that you use online. So right now what we've done is move the suspension back. Well, it should be, I guess. Oh yeah, oh well, that hasn't done anything. Those are some shiny tires, jeez. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is, I guess, not suspension, it's the wheel. The wheel should be moving, not. I also forgot to mention, before you mess with the data of the original car, you should make a copy of it. That's also important. Because if you change the data of the original car, you won't be able to use it online. Blah 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 blah. Same argument. Don't know why this is not working. Let's just see if this works. I don't know if this will work. But yeah, now I've basically messed with the original data of the car, so I cannot. Oh, see, it has worked. Okay, so that moved it out to the wrong side. That moved it out, and I want to move it in. So I'm gonna make this positive. That should fix it. I'm gonna make it 1, 2. Also, make 1. Well then, if it's the rear left, I'm gonna have to make this negative. Negative. 1. Yeah, sometimes you just have to screw around and figure these things out. There we go. That's what we wanted. See? I don't know what this thing is. No idea what the heck that thing is. It's not part of the original rim, but it's probably some mesh I forgot to replace. So same deal with the left. See, we got that right. I can probably move that in a little bit more. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now you can see the fitment is all right, but yeah, basically that's how you do the deeper rims. And I'll get more into doing the stance on another date. I hate those, whatever that is. I'm gonna have to figure that out. But I'll get it more into the stance on another day. That's it for today. So see you in the next video.